Alright, so I'm in FL Studio here, working on this banger. Right? And as you can hear, I'm having trouble finding a snare. So, I don't know, go open up my trusty secret beat pack. And, let's just see what we got here. No. It's terrible. I don't know. I don't think so. Let's see. Oh my god. Oh, there's the one. Old Faithful. Ah yes, the chop snare, every producer in 80,000 mile radius's favorite drum. Sometimes referred to as just the trap snare, it is a drum sample that has become almost ubiquitous with the entirety of the trap music genre itself. Its popularity has tapered off somewhat over the past 2 years, probably due to the fact that on SoundCloud everyone and their mom was using it, sometimes in every song they made. But it's still front and center on the opening track of Schoolboy Q's new album Crash, so it looks like we're not out of the woods yet. Something about that hitting a rock with a pickaxe sound, for whatever reason, adds a lot of bounce to your drum rack. If you still don't know what I'm talking about, here's some examples.
All my brothers got that gas and they always I'm on a new level. I'm on a new level. I'm on a new level. Undercover, this shit is so muddy, but I love it, baby. When I jump out the whip, when I hop out the whip, then I'm fresh in the my little nigga problem solver, yeah. We so 50, they like the people got me high. Yeah. I've been rolling all week, it got me high. Keep ballin' till they envy me. 21 guns for my enemy. Fly from the third coast to the west coast, come take this ride. Let me tell her how Jack turned Scott over one lost trip to the ball. Where's the go, go, where's the go. I spent a couple hundreds today. I done cut back on that lean.
That's already way too many examples, but my god, a lot of songs use this sound. So what made it so popular? Where did it come from? Before I get into its origin, let's introduce the producer for where it gets its namesake.
I'm off the perky and Adderall. I'm off the walk and I drink it all. Sold some cut, then I played it off. Keep the F and I don't play it off. I pay some killers, I get you off. None of her face and I sent her off. Givenchy shoes with a Gucci scarf. Gucci bag just to set it off.
Of course we gotta talk about Young Chop. Go listen to any drill rap album. That Lil Durk album I previewed earlier is my personal favorite. The chop snare is all over it, and I think it's reasonable to conclude that the chop snare found its popularity in Chicago trap production. A movement that had gasoline soaked and a match lit by none other than Chief Keef on Young Chop beats. Now Young Chop definitely didn't create this snare and name it after himself. From my understanding, he was asked about the sound in an interview where he said he found it in an old audio crack dealer kit. From my research, however, I think it's possible he could have found it in the FL Studio 7 stock drum kit, where it was labeled as Snare 7. I used FL Studio 7 back in the day and I don't remember it ever being there, but at the time I hadn't heard it in any songs either. Again though, I do believe it was Chop that popularized the sound, as otherwise I'm not sure why it would have become associated with him. For a long time, the easiest way to get the sound was to download a Young Chop drum kit. That is until a bunch of 15-year-olds started making their own drum kits, recycling sounds from other kits, and now it's pretty much inescapable. If you want to get your hands on it, I recommend the O&J Main Stash 2.0 kit, because it's got variants of the sample as well as the original. So where did it come from, and how did it come to be? Back when I had originally become curious about this, it took me some time to find it, which is what made me want to do a video about it, and it's been a long time coming. Over the past year and a half, it seems many conversations have popped up about this on Reddit, where the song the snare was originally sampled from can be found. Enter Baby Bend Over by Field Mob. You can actually hear the individual rim shot sound and 808 snare that was layered to create the thing. And this was back in 2006. Check it out, it's quite satisfying.
Bend over, yeah, baby, 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 bend over.
Now I have a hard time believing that the producer of this song, who's not listed on Genius, Can imagine the layered snare sound he made back in 2006 would end up spreading out across the hip-hop landscape to both our glory and despair. It's possible he doesn't even know or care about it at all. So after hearing it in the Field Mob song, I thought I'd try my hand at recreating it myself in FL Studio from scratch. Or at least as scratch as us producers are willing to go these days, which really just means layering samples from a 40-year-old drum machine. So I couldn't get it right. In theory, it seems simple going off what the Field Mob song gives us to work with. There's a high-pitched clav, sounds like a C note, and it's layered over a variant of an 808 snare that's kinda low-mid. I don't know what I'm missing here, but my guess is that the chop snare sounds the way it does because it's sampled from a mixed, compressed, and mastered song rather than just being a layering of 2 or 3 unprocessed samples. You can actually just grab the original song, and towards the end everything but the drums drop out, and you can grab a fresh chop snare for yourself that hasn't been tampered by even more compression and processing. This exact time the snare plays in the song was probably the one that was sampled in the first place. So, has a single drum sample made an impact on hip-hop beats at large? It may seem silly to think that a single snare drum could make its mark all over music production. Some people don't like this sound, though it's mostly producers who think it's lazy or shittily mixed. And I suppose there's some merit there, considering how many times you'll hear it on SoundCloud, and how a lot of the time it doesn't even fit in with the rest of the song. Yeah, like I said before, it's a pretty dope sound that can complement a drum rack, but there are some cases where it just sounds like ass. But on the flip side, at least to me, something as small as a snare drum can make a whole song. And the chop snare has done that for me on occasion.
You don't take my picture, nigga. Put it on the corner with a 40 on my hip, Godzilla. Wiz getting to it when they in my nigga Dean, that's the shit got real.
I hope you guys enjoyed my small look into this infamous sample. I plan on looking at other overlooked aspects of music production as well as other infamous samples, among other things in multimedia. But for now, this is Gus Norco, Outbound. Before we go today, I'm going to do my highlight of the week. How this works is I'll be picking out one of my favorite underground tracks I heard this week at the end of each of my videos. The track will be from a pre-up-and-coming bedroom studio artist that doesn't have many followers on SoundCloud or social media, hoping to give them some shine. If you want me to listen to your tracks, all you gotta do is hit that subscribe button and shoot me a DM on Instagram with the name of your song and your YouTube account. Alright, so this week I went with a song called Kiss the Fang by Laces Tetsugya Black Hoodie Creep. Goes by Black Hoodie Creep as well. Kiss the Fang by Black Hoodie Creep featuring 12 House. I went with this song because I thought it was pretty cool and it uses the chop snare, which is what this video is about. So I thought it was just pretty cool, and the beat, that's a good use of the chop snare right there. I thought it was good. So go check out that song, Kiss the Fang. Just look up Black Hoodie Creep on SoundCloud, and yeah, give him some love.